Hey y'all, welcome back. Listen, it's time for us to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let us go ahead and get into it. Girl, y'all know them house rules. Y'all know the house rules, honey. Go ahead, like up that video. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And also go ahead and get your tickets, okay? Because tickets are still available. All right. So make sure you get your tickets for the live show. That is happening next week. Can't even believe that it's like about to be here. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Woo, child, but it's gonna be good. Okay, so that's that on that period. But let's talk about the show. So first of all, K.Michelle, y'all know she was in the hospital, and she had like an infection or something like that. The doctor talked to her about. There was, I guess, a procedure or a surgery that she got done, and wherever the incision was or something, I guess it split, caused an infection after the leakage or something like that, and yikes. It sounds scary. It sounds nasty. It sounds like it's something I would never want to go through in my life. Okay. Um, but that is what's going on with K Michelle. So she has to do like I guess like an immediate surgery. And that's what ended up happening. Then we see her at the top of this episode where she is in the hospital with her husband. So they're talking. She said, listen, I didn't die. So I'm here today. Okay. And I'm happy about that. Right. She also goes on to talk about how the ladies checked on her. Porsha, Phaedra, Cynthia reached out. Shamia said, I got to put my eyes on you. Okay. You have some friends like that. I got to put my eyes and my hands on you. So I'm going to pull up on you. Okay. And that is exactly what Shamia did. And, I really thought that was nice of the ladies, especially Shamia, to show up and be there for her. Cause I was like, girl, you wouldn't have got that shit from them ladies over there on Love and Hip Hop. I mean, maybe a piece of Carly Red, honey. Carly Red probably would have pulled up on you to see about you. But them rest of them ladies, they ain't give a fuck about you. Understand? Okay. So that was really, really nice of those ladies. So we see K Michelle getting herself together. I believe she's gonna go link up with the other ladies. And she like, listen, I may be going through a lot of stuff, but you'll never know it unless I tell you. Okay. I don't think she lying. Hell, she did this with the cameras, and I ain't even know none of this had happened. Okay. So she got all put together, and mama looked good. Mama looked good, all right? And also, I feel like it may have helped her feel better about herself a bit, right? What Deion Sanders used to say back in the day, when you look good, you feel good. So sitting in that hospital bed, thinking about everything that you done put your body through, okay? Because she did it to herself, okay? Um, yeah, I'm sure it got you down and got you stressed out. It's all in your head and stuff. So putting on some makeup, whether she was going to link up with the ladies or not, I got a feeling she would have did that just to go home. I got a feeling she would have been like, put me together just so I could go home and sit up in the bed or whatever the case is. I just want to leave here looking and feeling good. And that's what she did. Now, what K Michelle lets us know is that she had, because I was like a little bit of perplexed a little bit when she said she had the silicone injections. And y'all, I was really tripping, and it was giving a blonde moment for me. Cause I mean, I don't know. We talked about this on Patreon, and I guess I was thinking when I think of the two, the silicone injections, BBL, I'm thinking it's like all one thing, right? And then I say, now wait a minute, you had a BBL and the silicone injections, girl. That is extreme. That is extreme. That was just extreme because I believe she got the silicone injections earlier in her career, like way earlier, probably maybe even before she was like maybe famous. I'm trying to think because that song she got Fallen. That was like the first single that I heard from her that I loved. And I can't remember if she had a booty in there. Maybe she had just got the injections at that time. Not sure, but it was really before a lot of y'all got to know who she was. She got the injection. So at what point did you go lay your ass down and get a BBL? It's none of my business, but since we talk about it, it's like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because a few of them ladies did that. I believe how did she do that? I don't know what just know I believe a few of those ladies took that route where they went to somebody's hotel room or basement or whatever, got injected with something. And it's just like, I don't even see how y'all felt safe with doing something like that. But I guess it's kind of like Beauty in the Black. when you hear and see somebody else getting it and they look good, then you decide I'm gonna go and get. I guess it ain't no different than going to the damn doctor. Huh? I don't know. I mean, it should have been if you laying on a goddamn bed in a hotel room or in a fucking family house. Ooh, I'm glad you survived though, because some people have gone to doctors and have lost their damn life after going through to get surgeries that they felt was the right way to go about it. Charges. Well, we glad you're here, Kay. We are glad that you are here. And let me tell you something, it has not stopped. A lot of the young ladies are still going out there getting the work done. Now, granted, they may not be getting the injections now. Okay, maybe technology and all of that has been a bit more advanced. But what I will say is people still dying. Okay, they still dying, child. They still have botched surgeries. So with my person, okay, that show that you did on Lifetime where you talked about or where you showed people's botched surgeries and you were able to assist them with getting, with the right doctors to reverse some of that, because all of it couldn't be reversed or fixed. I think it's still needed in my personal. I think people still need to see what really be happening in the rooms or whatnot. But all in all, I'm glad that K.Michelle is okay. I hate that the silicone will be in her body for the rest of her life, but that's the reality. Okay. Because I think it was on her show that I saw it. I think it was on K.Michelle's show that I saw where this person had gotten I guess they were like small, tiny silicone beads or something like that injected in their butt or whatever it is, or maybe it was hers. Maybe it was hers. And it was just real difficult for the doctors to get in there and suck that stuff out. It's difficult. Yeah, like it could result in you about damn near dying. Okay, like on the table. So, yeah, she may have some of these issues forever, but I will say it seems like she's doing a bit better than, what she was in the past. Okay, yeah, she has this hiccup. But I do have a question of how often do these hiccups show up for you? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's what I got on K Michelle. Y'all leave y'all thoughts on that part. Let's talk about Drew and Angela, because Drew goes over to Angela's house, they just chit chatting and stuff. And so when she first comes in, Angela shows Drew a ATL charcuterie. Right? She said, I got ATL charcuterie here with some wings. I think it was lemon pepper wings. And let me tell y'all something. I love that. Now, this may be a norm or something like that, but I have not heard that in all the years I've been down here, honey. But let me tell you something, Angela. I feel like you got a lot of businesses that you could be doing. You know what I'm saying? You got your Fangela. And be clear. I am a Fangela. Hello, and I would like my fan. Okay, okay. You cannot send one to K Michelle and not send one to me, and then send one to Pinky and not send one to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that is disrespect to the sorority. Okay, so you need to send me one too. Let's be clear. Okay, so y'all gonna clip that and send it to Angela. Tell her I want my Fangela. Period. Okay, so you got your Fangelas, and I like the Angela's ATL charcuterie board. Like, why you ain't doing that with that? Okay, I don't want to hear that about nobody else charcuteries. Okay, I'm talking about Angela's right now. All right, you need to partner with you a local caterer. You know what I'm saying? Let the people order them Angela's ATL charcuterie. You know what I'm saying? Or you could get with maybe one of them restaurants that do like some type of partnership thing, or whatever. One of them local restaurants that be doing the little charcuterie thing, like that could be some on the menu. Like, I don't know, it's just a thought. But I like that. I thought that was cute with a little piece of wing over here. You know what I'm saying? Build your own, and Angela's ATL charcuterie thing. I don't know. It's just a thought. Okay, you go and you run with that, and you make it cute, but I was like, yeah, girl, because I don't be seeing y'all with the chicken wings on the charcuteries. I don't be seeing that. So anywho, child. So Angela is happy, right, to have her daughter at the house. Y'all know she and her daughter had a little friction last year. Her daughter ended up getting married and not notifying her, so they had a little issues with that. And they are in a much, much better place. Okay. Now I'm sure they are. As when we first met Angela, her mother was alive. She filmed a bit on the show, but by the time the show got to us, her mother had passed away, right? And she also was having a little issues with her daughter. But since then, I'm sure that is something that has brought her and her daughter closer, with Angela losing her mom and her daughter losing her grandmother, as well as whatever issues Angela was over there dealing with her sister. during and after her mother passed away. So I'm sure that would definitely bring family much, much closer. And I'm glad. I'm glad they are in a better place. I don't know why I thought her daughter was still in Atlanta, going to school in Atlanta, and also got married. I thought everything was here, but it seems like she went off to school somewhere and she's away with her partner and they doing a thing or whatnot. But as long as the relationship is intact, okay, and her daughter realizing like I just was trying to support you and have your back and look out for you and this and that, it's all good. So good for them. Drew talks about, motherhood in a sense, right? And being a mom, you gotta provide, period, right? So she's been out here doing acting as well as singing, but right now, acting is paying majority of them bills. Okay, she's booking a lot of more acting opportunities, so it is requiring her to be away from the house. So she got to fly out, be on set for God knows how long, maybe a week, maybe a few days or whatever, get back on that flight, and then back to the house. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I don't know how she worked it in her schedule. Maybe she was gone for weeks at a time. Maybe she's like, I can't do longer than a week. Is it a way we can shoot all our stuff at, during this time frame? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you are, I don't think producers, I don't know. I don't know how it worked. What I do know is that the babies had unexcused absences, okay? And the kids was not in therapy like they should have been. Now, don't put your hands on me and don't say nothing to me. I don't care. I understand Drew was the primary custodial parent. I get that. Do I care? No, because I feel like she probably at some point relied on Ralph to do his part. Okay. And he didn't. And he left her played in the end. When she thought that everything was good, I'm not gonna ask for full custody. We could do joint, we could do whoop the whoop, boop, 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 boop. He get down to the courtroom and then switched up on her. I feel like she was getting played the whole time and about didn't know. However, who is the contact person on the kids' documents, on the kids' school records? Because I will have to still fault Drew. I'm just saying I'm not putting it all on Drew. Okay. Um, Although I understand how the court see it, right? We understand how the court see it because she is the primary parent, but you banished the man down to the damn basement and then got the audacity to not only try and snatch the kids and the house from her. Like, that's quite like, why she can't be banished to the basement? Why she figure it out? But he gets to stay in the damn basement. And you see he make a substantial more amount than she do, which I don't believe is true, however. Okay. Child, but either way, I feel like there is shared responsibility, and she may have relied on him to take care of some things that he may not have always taken care of on her behalf. Because he do, you the custodial parent. This gonna look bad on you more than this gonna look on me, and I'm gonna use this as a way in case she start to finesse and not give me what it is that I want. I'm gonna use this shit against her ass at a later time. Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't care how you feel. You ain't gotta like it then. I hear you. Okay. You think I don't hear you? Cause I'm on the phone and you over there. Girl, I still hear what you saying. Either way. So listen, those are my thoughts on that. But all in all, Drew talks about having to work so much and how she be having a little bit of mommy guilt. Now I'm sure it's not a little bit, it'd be a lot of it. Okay. Mommy guilt. Girl, when you're working, it's always mommy guilt. It's always. And that's how society's set up though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta work to provide. And if you want to provide an even better life, you gotta work extra more to make the money sometimes. More money requires more work ethic, more damn stress. Okay, so I'm sure mommy guilt is tapping on her shoulders for sure. Um, I can't wait to hear her thoughts on the court's rulings. I'm like, Andy, we can't sit down at the reunion and not ask her questions about this. How did it happen? How were you feeling? Were you surprised, shocked? What was going on after the judge told you that, yeah, you got to be out by the end of next month? And he gets full custody of the kids during the school year. So definitely want to know about that. But all in all, she said that she's trying to find a balance. It's a struggle because she got to be away from the house. She got to provide and stuff like that. Do what she can for the kids, financially and stuff. But she does admit that she does not have it all figured out. She doesn't. She don't got it all figured out, and hopefully she will figure it out very soon, right? Angela lets her know, listen, girl, I can relate, right? She said, I should be at the house more myself, but girl, I'm over here trying to redeem myself with real estate. I lost some of my properties last year. I got another one that's under contract, and I'm trying to really, really figure it out. So this is where Drew goes in the confessional, and she says that Angela is a serial entrepreneur. Right? She says she's a real estate guru, no matter if she's lost money in all her houses. Drew, I don't like that. I got a feeling you and Angela may have talked about that, but I don't like it because I'm like, why would you need to throw shade at your friend that's been having your back? Now you did follow it up with dust yourself off and try again. That's Angela. She gonna always keep trying. You try to redeem yourself there. But why you over there throwing shade at your friend? I don't like that. Don't do that to her. Angela ain't do nothing to you. She just supported you. Anywho, Angela says that she's focused on making a profit, even if it's $1. I know that's right, Angela. I know that's right, girl. Now, if you ask me, I do think that you should have probably. I feel like you should have took a little more of a break. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know the distance in between when she lost her house or the past houses in comparison to this house she's trying to sell now. But I feel like maybe she should have took some time, but we'll see. Maybe she knows herself and knows like, okay, if I take too much time, I'm not gonna do it. And I gotta do it while I gotta strike while the iron's hot for me, like as far as mentally. Yeah, I may have lost that, but I gotta hurry up and get back in there because if I don't get back in there and try and make some shake, I'm gonna feel like a failure, right? So maybe that's how she thinks. Now she asked about Black, right? So Angela asked about Black, and Drew says the ladies want her to be so coupled up, but he's not. That's not my man. Y'all want me to be so coupled up, girl. Shut up,
I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
girl. You brought this man around and had him on a phone sitting in your face and everyone else's for over 2 hours. Everybody, of course, is going to think that you were coupled up. I'm not going to sit on the phone with no zigger like that. Okay, now I don't know if you was trying to prove a point, like y'all kept this man name in y'all mouth last year, so he go type thing, or what? It was I don't. Anywho, so she says he's just a guy that she pretty much using to help her get through whatever she got going on. With her divorce and stuff like that. It's just that, like, it's not a relationship or none of that. She says that they are gonna be linking up soon because he's in town, but she says that it's not a date. Drew, baby, it is a date. Can you not? It is a date, love. Stop playing with the people. Okay? Stop doing that. Now it's time for a few of the ladies to link up over at the nail salon or whatnot. So you got Porsha, you got K.Michelle, you got Phaedra, and you got Cynthia. They all gonna link up, right? And so Cynthia tells K.Michelle, like, we never got the update on what actually happened to you down to the award show, right? And so Porsha said, well, is it something that you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about it? Keep that in mind. K.Michelle told the story, right? And Portia says, huh? Like what, like a miscarriage? Who asked that after hearing somebody talk about, oh, I was sitting there getting ready for a show, whatever, whatever. Next thing you know, I stand up, the whole thing is leaking, whoop, doop, doop, whoop, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. The last thing I'm thinking about is somebody they send down. I'm thinking about a miscarriage. I just would be so damn confused that I wouldn't know what the hell is really going on. Like, well, huh? Like, what you mean? What you think it was? That's probably what I would have said. But again, everybody's different. She don't have the same mind as me. Everybody's different, right? But even if I thought that, I don't know if I would have said that out loud. Like, how, like what? Like, how, like what? Like, how, like what? Like, how, like what? I don't know, girl. Either way, so K. Michelle says that she doesn't know. She said, well, this was she said in her confessional. She was like, well, I don't know if she was being serious, she was throwing shade, or she was just dumb as fuck. She didn't say the AF. I added that. But she said, or she just dumb. I don't know either, girl. Now, I don't think she was being in my personal, I don't think Porsha was trying to be messy. I don't think Porsha was trying to be shady to you in that moment. At all. To me, I don't think so. I think she was just genuinely asking a question, but at the same time, just like, damn, who thinks of that? When somebody tells you that, who thinks to ask that? Right? Um, so yeah, but I don't think that it was malicious, if that makes sense. Awkward to ask, but not malicious at the same time. Like, Portia just it just come out. Like. Um, so yeah, but y'all let me know y'all thoughts. So K.Michelle says, it's no malfunction to her hot pocket. It was to her ass. And Portia should know because she had the same thing with her titties. Okay. That's what was said. So Portia should know. But I'm wondering, like, if you know she's had her ass stuff done, what would make you go to the miscarriage? And then some part of me is like, if it was a miscarriage, you gonna let her finish her story and tell you? You gonna let her finish? So I don't know, girl. But either way, K.Michelle then responds to Portia when she said, what, like a miscarriage? K.Michelle said, I was thinking that. Who laughs after hearing that? Who laughs after hearing that? That was awkward too, girl. No, Portia talks about her sutra. Girl, I didn't even know what the hell that was. I had to look it up, but I think it's stitches. Maybe it was an opening. I can't remember what that thing said, but either way, she got some titty work done. She had a sutra that ended up opening up, but she said that it wasn't leaking though. So she was like, "So was yours leaking? Like, was it bloody? Like, what's it? What?" I think K.Michelle said she saw no blood. She didn't see any blood. It was just, I guess, fluid. Okay, I guess it was something that had built up over the past few months or something like that. When K.Michelle was talking, Portia genuinely looked confused as hell. Portia genuinely looked confused as hell. All right. K.Michelle talks about when Portia talked about her suture. K.Michelle said something like, "Oh, well, mine was like my incision or whatever was like 8 months old, so I wasn't expecting to do something like that." I don't know. At least that's what I was thinking she meant. Now, Portia tells her, "Well, you look like $1,000,000 at the end of the day. You look like $1,000,000, girl." Okay. Of course, K.Michelle said thank you and stuff. They hugged. They moved to a different part of the store, I think, or either the ladies ended up sitting down next to her. Whatever it was, K.Michelle's pretty much asked, how I'm supposed to fight with y'all if y'all being nice. And Cynthia like, "Well, girl, we ain't finna fight you when you down. Now it's gonna be a time to fight, girl, just not right now." And K.Michelle asked about the grand opening. And Portia says, "Well, I didn't even go. I ain't go to this shit." "Why you ain't go, girl?" "Because, girl, I had learned that hoe was talking shit about me, girl. Yeah, she called me Horsea, and I just sent her some flowers like, girl, you got it. You got it." She did land a whackery when I got on the phone. She did. And she pretty much said it was like broken flowers from a broken woman or something like that. So I was like, okay. I got you. I see you. And I got you, bitch. Okay. I see you want a little issue with me, and I'm not gonna give you that. Okay, I got you. Now, after this was said, Cynthia decides to ask K.Michelle, "K, so do you think that Kelli reacted that way because it was true? Like what Portia was saying was true?" Cynthia, why the fuck is you being messy? Trying to get K.Michelle's like, "So you think that she said that because it was true?" Baby, I loved K.Michelle response. First of all, I don't even much know that damn lady like that. That's not what she said, but that's what I'm thinking. Okay. But all in all, K.Michelle said, pretty much told her, listen, she was like, "I don't know what this woman is doing with her hot pocket." Loved it. Like, don't ask me shit, because I don't know. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay. I'm too busy worried about my back pocket. Okay. To be worried about her hot pocket. Understand? So then Cynthia's like, "Well, wait a minute, what's a hot pocket? What's a hot pocket? What is that? What's that?" And Phaedra and Portia like, "Cynthia, you know what a damn hot pocket is." I said, "Yeah, she does know exactly what a hot pocket is. She just couldn't take K.Michelle's answer, so she had to throw it off a little bit. She had to she had to throw in, huh? What's that? What is that? What's a hot pocket now?" She know what it is. And it made sense. It made so much sense. Like if you asking her about her messing around with what Portia said was true with her messing around with another person, and K.Michelle responds with hot pocket, you're not slow. You know exactly what she's talking about. You just couldn't take her answer. So you had to do a little piece of deflecting. But we got it. We see it, girl. So Shamia and her hubby are pretty much taking a walk. You know, they go drop little mama off to school. As they're taking a stroll, Shamia lets them know, like, hey, I already talked to the people and let them know I'm ready to move forward with the rum company. How you feel? He was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then you're going to do that anyway, right? Because that's just how you is, okay? So then she lets us to know that her husband is not as impressed, okay? He's not 100% on board. He's on board being a supportive husband for her. But at the same time, she said he not impressed. And the reason he not impressed, Shamia, is because number one, you already spread yourself too thin. You over here doing all of these, like, wasn't she on a radio show? You do the Hawks announcing thing. Ain't no telling what else you may do. You got Housewives, you know, you always want to be on the scene, hang out and stuff. You got your daughters that you're managing. Like, I think that you take on a lot, and yes, y'all had the money to get the help, but also beyond that, you don't dedicate yourself to nothing. That's what's going on. Like, you may be a great mom, you dedicate yourself to that, but like outside of that, business wise, like you said, the man spent 6 figures in your business for you. I mean, in your singing career, and you just only did like a few songs. Ooh, there you go. That's because it's not serious to you. It's not something you really want to see. And I think that you're in a place where you want to get a quick return on your investment, and you believe that doing this rom company is going to give you that based on the audience of Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? Um, it might not. Now, let me tell you, girl, what would be messy is if you went and sat your ass down with Porsha baby daddy Dennis and asked him about Nyack. And you know Dennis gonna do it either way, because that's just how he is. When it comes to business and money, he don't give a damn who Portia's enemies and allies are. Cause he's about the coin. All right. That would be great. That would be some messy shit. Yeah. Okay, maybe not. Maybe Portia wouldn't give a damn. But all in all, Shamia, you need to like sit down. You really need to sit down, and you really need to think about this. Cause as a fan supporter, girl, I will be mad as fuck with you if you done entertained this idea this season, and then we ain't got no rom company or no progression by the time the reunion happens. Just playing in the people's face. Angela, you on the same boat, in my opinion, with your fangelas that you have not done anything with, that you told us that the reunion was coming and it ain't nothing come, but you to the damn screen still fanning your damn self. Okay? Girl, I have a Chris Brown and an Usher concert to get to at the end of the year. I need my fangela. You understand? I'm giving you a lot of time. I'm giving you a lot of period. I need my fangela, boo. Get it together, girl. All right. Shamia, get it together. Okay. I'm tired of y'all bringing these ideas on these shows and they doing shit with it. Okay. Get it together. But that's why your husband ain't taking your ass serious. Cause I feel like we haven't even seen the half, in my personal, of what has, of the ideas that have come to Shamia's head that she wants to do, and has not moved forward with them. That's why that man like, oh, okay. Oh, okay then. Oh, okay then. Yeah, I believe it when I see it. All right, then. Okay, okay. Yeah, girl, she about came up with 10 different damn ideas and only did 2 for the damn show. You better get it together. Stop wasting that man money. Can we talk about Pinky going over there to see her attorney, right? So she let her attorney know, like, listen, I'm gonna file for bankruptcy. I ain't got time. Listen, I was the guarantor on everything. All right. And I'm in this position because of my CFO. Yeah. My CFO did. I'm blaming my CFO for sure. Well, what happened was they had took some money. I didn't know they was dipping in there and doing it like that, but they was dipping it and they was doing it and they was taking the money. And I done found myself in something funny. Okay. So she says that she ended up losing her company. She bought the company back. And I wasn't sure if she has, it sounds like she got the $20 million. Like, is she $20 million in dollars debt now, or was it before? Maybe it was before, because she's now starting from scratch. She was in $20 million debt. She lost her company. She bought the company back. Now her money is low, right? Money is low. Now she get hit with these other 3 lawsuits. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think she still has that $20 million debt, but y'all let me know. I'm not sure. But either way, she said she got the lawsuits, which is very interesting, from her or her partner, right? Playing Gervonta Davis's fight at the venue. You have to get special permission for that, and I did not know that, which is interesting. So how does that work when you have people playing Love Island at these different venues? Remember last year, all the people wanted to get the folks. I guess they wasn't getting people coming in there. So it's like, hey, you could come here. You could watch Love Island with us. Come on over here to our venue and watch Love Island on Peacock, right? Now, I'm wondering if the issue for that was because it was paid per view. So you are pretty much cutting in on our money by letting people come into your venue, order food, watch the game and stuff. How does that work? And how did they know she was playing it for them to turn around and sue her? I'm just wondering. What kind of special permissions do y'all get? Do y'all with these special permissions, are you supposed to pay oh so much money up front in order to even stream it? How does that work? Do you work out a deal where they get oh so much of the money? How does that work? Because now, again, I'm going back to Love Island because I've never seen them do something like this before. Well, no, I remember they did it with Game of Thrones. Okay. I remember a few people did it with Game of Thrones, but like Love Island USA, did y'all get clearance to have this show showing over there at y'all different establishments? Or can Peacock turn around and sue each one of y'all that was out here promoting and having people at the venue? Is what I'm wondering. Y'all need to find that answer out before the new season comes so that y'all don't find yourselves in trouble like Miss Pinky, okay? Because they sued her for what, maybe a few hundred thousands or something. Then she got another $2 million lawsuit because she couldn't use her liquor license because her investors had a liquor license. So I'm a little confused. So are you saying that you couldn't use it, but you used it anyway instead of using the one the investors had, which is why you had to pay the 2 million? Y'all please explain to me, because I don't know if it was the editing or if Pinky wasn't as clear, or it could just be because I'm not in her arena of business. So I'm just confused as a whole. Okay. So y'all let me know in the comments. All right. Her attorney pretty much offers her some support and just let her know, this is a part of your testimony. It's all good. You're going to make it through. It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. And I love that moment. I know he's there to be a different type of counsel to her as an attorney, but I love the fact that he was encouraging her and supporting her in that moment. And as he was talking, all I thought about was something that my mom always said, it's a blessing on the other side. It's just about how you go through the struggle. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe good things may be on the other side. Just be mindful how you move while you in it, okay? But best of luck to Pinky. I do appreciate her being vulnerable, her being open. I feel like other people are dealing with this situation right now. Hell, her own castmate, Miss Kelli, who I personally think should file for bankruptcy as well. In my personal, like, Kelli, you just sat up here and told us that the dog didn't even get the normal um I guess maintenance, the normal maintenance that the dog typically gets, because you can't financially afford it. You got your daughter over here in college. I know you probably was hoping to pay for some of that out of pocket so she don't have to deal with the debt. So girl, file for bankruptcy too. And I really love the fact that Pinky is going through it, and somebody that has made well more than you have, and she's going through it at a higher level, in my personal opinion, is great inspiration and just great support. Y'all can support each other. And I think that Kelli can learn a lot in this moment. And don't be ashamed, even though, a lot of us may have shamed bankruptcy and all this and that, whoop, whoop, whoop. Girl, on the other side, it might be a good thing for you. You know what I'm saying? If you could get some of that debt off your back. Unless, I don't know. I guess if it goes through the courts and it's a judgment or something, maybe it's a little different. But I don't know how that works. Like, yeah, they suing you though. So will you still have to pay that? Those $2 million, because they suing you for that liquor license. Would you, even though you're going through the courts, they're suing you for that, but was it a judgment for that? Right? So I wonder how all of that's gonna work out. But all in all, best of luck to Pinky. Loving the fact that Kelli is able to learn some things from Pinky in more ways than one. So I want to see these people on the show another season. I know people don't like Pinky or whatnot. Y'all a little shaky on Kelli, but for the business purpose, I want to see how they are able to grow and come from where they are today. All right. But y'all feel how y'all want to feel y'all thoughts. Now, Cynthia, K.Michelle, and Pinky all link up, right? And at some point they do talk about the Bimbo talk, the tweet. Okay, because K.Michelle done sat up there and called somebody a damn bimbo, and they try to figure out, girl, well, who the hell is the bimbo on today? And let me tell y'all what's so funny. Yeah, I know that quiet got your attention. Let me tell you something. I find it real interesting that y'all decided to do a segment called Reading K.Michelle's Toxic Tweets or Toxic Tweets from K.Michelle. Now, all of a sudden, we love toxic tweets. Don't put your hands on me. All of a sudden, we love a toxic tweets. Oh, wow. Very interesting. Because when my girl Candace, I know y'all was like, God damn it, Jamie. My girl Candace Dillard Bassett, when she did it, she was called a disaster on Twitter. Now we're embracing toxic tweets. Don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. Okay. Now we're embracing the toxic tweets of it all. Ah, very interesting. Wow. Okay. And y'all thought Candace was gutter with the mouth. Okay, Michelle can really go there with you, baby. Understand. Okay? She can get in the trenches with you. Very interesting. Especially considering the fact that Lisa Rinna and Candace Dillard Bassett were fined for taking it a little too far on social media. So did you guys let K.Michelle know that? We're going to entertain this here. The toxic tweets from K.Michelle. We're going to entertain it now, but don't get too comfortable. Because find your ass, okay? Don't get too comfortable. Okay. And so I'm just trying to understand. That's all. I'm trying to see what's going on. Trying to see if it's some cross the board fair, because if I was Candace, I'd be like, I'm gonna need some of that money back, backspace, forward slash. Because I see y'all over here embracing the tweets, but when I did it, I'm just trying to see if I can get a little piece of a return. Okay. Can I get a little something? Because y'all embracing it over here. Let's keep going. K.Michelle said that she called Porsha the bimbo. She said because she was confused as to why she would even ask her something about a miscarriage. She done called Porsha a damn bimbo and a dingbat. See, this the type of carrying on that I like. This the type of carrying on that we have needed. Now, she didn't say it in her face, but make no mistakes. K.Michelle will say it in your face, though. Okay? Unlike Miss Kelli. She will call Porsha a bimbo and a dingbat to her face. Be clear. Thought that was quite funny. Now, K.Michelle feels like, she was Kelli in the situation. And I'm like, not really. I don't feel like K.Michelle was Kelli in that particular situation. Maybe you were in the photography situation, right? Not so much as in the miscarriage conversation, but in the photography. When Porsha sat there on that couch with you and insinuated that you always get into it with other singers. Okay. Making it sound like you was a problem, and those may not have been her intentions, because then that's also the difference, right? Whereas with Kelli, she intended to let her know. She insinuated, right? It's the insinuation for me, which is what she insinuated something with Kelli. She also insinuated that with K.Michelle. However, the difference would be the intention. Okay, I don't know if she intended to do that with K.Michelle at the photo shoot when she said what she said, and maybe she did because she brought up Drew. We're not gonna fight with Drew. Yeah, that was the intention, girl. So I will relate those two, but not the miscarriage. She also wanted to let the intent was to let Kelli know you sleep with married men too. What you talking about? Yikes. Okay. So that's that. Now, Cynthia and Peaky, they think that Porsha does um they feel like she should be giving K.Michelle an apology. Cynthia she doesn't think that Porsha did it maliciously or she misspoke. She said she misspoke, but she don't think she did it like intentionally. So but she do think if that's how you felt, y'all need to sit down and y'all need to talk about it. It is what it is, right? K.Michelle decides to ask about Phaedra because she's confused on Phaedra, right? And the reason I think she's confused on Phaedra is because obviously her reputation precedes her, right? Because she's like, why she acting so nice? It's the reputation. I had somebody tell me that one time I was at college. I had went back for something. And somebody said, I know you, your reputation precedes you. And I'm like, what the fuck that mean? You know what I'm saying? What is it? Because I don't be hee and ha ha and laughing around with you hoes that I don't fucking know. Like what is it that I mean? Probably that. But I was totally the opposite. However, he was like, no, it's a good thing. It's a good. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know how good, cause these hoes don't know me like that. I don't give a fuck what you heard. These hoes, they don't know me like that and still don't. Be clear. Okay. So I don't know. This was a few years back. Mm, all right. People be surprised when they come over to the YouTube and then they see my vibrant personality. Yeah, ho, I ain't talk to y'all like that in college. I don't know you bitches like that for real. I was cool with who I was cool with. Be clear. Anyway, I'm just running my mouth, child. But getting back to the topic at hand, okay? All in all, I feel like based on what was shown of Phaedra on television and stuff, the different things people said about her, I feel like the reputation preceded her. And so therefore K.Michelle, like, this hoe is actually nice. Like, what's like that's the one I thought I was gonna have an issue with. I thought I was gonna be over there trying to fight her. I was like, yeah. That's interesting because she also goes on to Jason Lee and said that Phaedra's like one of her best friends from the show. She wasn't expecting that. It's crazy, child. People be thinking they know, and we really don't. We really don't. But either way, that's what's going on, child. Now, K.Michelle says, she still goes on to shade her in that moment, right? And she said, you can't trust no lawyer that don't practice the law. And Pinky said, no, you can't trust no lawyer that be eating dead people. I said, now what's going on? Eating dead people. So because she said that you eat meat, you gonna sit up here and talk about dead people? These ladies is something funny. So Pinky says that she has too much going on, and in her life at this moment, she just wants supportive people around her at the end of the day. That's all that I want, right? She also lets us know, or at least they gave us a flashback of her talking to K.Michelle, where she has yet to tell her husband about her wanting to file for a bankruptcy yet, right? Um, she definitely needs to let him know. She definitely needs to let him know. Okay. But we'll get into that in just a second because now I want to slide over here and I want to get into Drew Sidora.
You fucking the brand up. You're not building the brand. You're fucking the brand up, but you want to be the CEO.
Girl, you fucking the brand up bringing this on the show. He done showed up with an open shirt, chest out, and some flowers. Drew over here looking confused as to why she got flowers. I don't know what the hell going on, but it's given to me, Drew. It's very awkward. It's as if like how Drew shows up with this guy is how I feel a lot of ladies show up with guys that they're not 100% into. They're using them as placeholders. They haven't got the box, but they do enough to make the dudes think they're interested in them, holding hands, cuddling, all of that. But oh, I can't hunch on you because I'm still married. My divorce not finalized type of. It's very weird. Okay. But I feel like she may be playing this damn man and using his ass for a bit of a storyline too, since she can't get Ralph on the show right now. That's just what I think, and I could be so wrong about it. Okay. He seems to be laying it on thick as well. And because he's laying it on thick, oh, here's some flowers, I think you're a woman that you ain't girlfriend material, you wife material, I got something for the kids. That energy too gives me a nigga that's trying to fuck and has yet to fuck yet, and he's over here trying to play the long type game on top of getting him a piece of clout. Like that's what it gives a little bit. And she over here talking, you gonna make me cry. I said, Drew, now it's not the time to be acting, bitch. Okay, girl, if you don't get your ass up, pissing me the hell off. Sick of it. Okay. Then says, he's I think he asked her about, friends with benefits. It depends on the category you want to be in. She's like, friends. What? She's like, I mean, you are the only person that I'm really getting to know, and date or whatever the case is. He said, yeah, but the divorce still not finalized. Again, to me, and I could be wrong, to me, that just came off like, I mean, I still can't hit yet because you still finalized. So your divorce not finalized. So until it's finalized, then we really could go all the way because right now, like you somebody else investment. You are an investment. You just somebody else's, and you know how I am. Like I would want you all to myself. Whoop de whoop de whoop. Drew, I hope your mama has cussed you the entire I really, really do. I hope your mama has snapped on your ass, girl.
I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Cause why? Cause why? And I don't know what to say. Raph may have been an asshole, but I do feel like this man is a downgrade. I'm not even gonna hold you. Very disappointed. I want you to figure that out in this life and not the next, okay? Um, Angela, she takes her daughter about this new property she's looking at that she's about to close on. Her daughter's confused about the property, like this isn't up to your standard of the properties that you typically have, okay? This ain't it. So as they're leaving, her daughter said, are you doing this to actually make money? Or are you trying to prove something? I think she is trying to prove something. She's trying to prove something to Charles because Charles don't believe in her. And she also trying to prove to herself. Right? I said, facts, daughter, facts. And Angela had said, damn it, Amari. And she closed the door. I'm like, baby, that's going to have to be a meme right there. Damn it, Amari. Okay. She said, I just need one win. I took a lot of damn losses, girl. If I could just get one win, I'm getting closer to closure, girl. That's what I want. Damn, if I make $2 over, then that's a profit and that's a win for me. Angela, Goodwill Hunting, because that house is terrible as fuck. And I'm sure it was very cheap for you to acquire. Let me tell y'all, this house you could barely see from the street because it's a dip down to the house. I do not like homes like that. Who built those? I need to know who the developers were and who the city individuals were to approve this bullshit. I hate to see homes that have a dip. Ain't nobody trying to drive down there and park. Ain't nobody trying to go down. I'm not trying to do all of that. I need it to be leveled, please. Can it be on one level? I'll probably go slightly up a hill, but if you take off from the dip hole, no. Okay? We're not dipping down like that. On top of the fact that when it rains, I be thinking in my head that it's going to be like a fucking puddle. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably got water damage down at the bottom of the house and shit. Like, ain't nobody trying to deal with it because the rain just sitting there. I mean, granted, it can happen like that on a lot of properties, but I'm not going to make it easy and go get me a damn house that's sitting down. Like, I hate it. But, okay, I bet you got a good deal on it, girl. Best of luck. Good luck to you, okay? I hope you get that win by the time we get to the reunion. All right. Now, Shamia over here having a meeting, wasting these people's time down from the Grenada, this rum company. And she's learning that she wants to do like a rum with a little piece of peach. And they say, oh no, baby, we don't do peaches till, honey. Nah, that's your shit. We don't do that. So you gonna have to figure out how you gonna get that to us. She's like, oh, so I gotta import and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. Okay, well, how much is that gonna cost? Oh, damn. Okay, well then that means I ain't gonna make no profit, is it? Oh my God, I gotta rethink. Yeah, rethink it, girl. I think honestly, I am preparing myself to be disappointed in Shamia. I'm not finna hold you. I would love to be proven wrong, but I think that this rom company is just an idea for the moment. An idea for the moment, girl. That's what I think. I don't see it being. I just don't. I just think she gonna drop it, and then next year we gonna see her on to another task. Nothing completed. Just moving on to the next one. Talking about some she feels very strongly and great about it and this and that. And I'm motivated. I don't believe none of that. I feel just like her husband feel. Okay. The next expensive project, what is it? Like, no, ma'am. Pinky and her husband, right? We learned that they had 3 kids, right? Every year. So when they first met, the first year they got pregnant, the second year they got pregnant, third year they got pregnant, and they finally decided to get married to each other, right? So she tells him about not being able to move forward with the 3 pending lawsuits over her head. Pinky, what is up with the number threes? Is that your line number? Because, girl, 3 kids, 3 years, and 3 lawsuits. What's going on? Is that your what's up? Okay. So he asked, how can he support her or take some of this off of her spiritually and financially? I like that better than you talk about some damn humbling her. Felt the way about that. But he wants to alleviate some of that stress, right? And so she tells him, what I got going on is none of your problem. Okay, then, Pinky girl. All right, that's fine. Okay. But if it was him in your situation, and it was him, if it was him in your situation and he's about to file for bankruptcy, you'll be upset. You would want him to know, or at least you would have wanted him to tell you everything from the beginning. You would have wanted to know all of that. And then now you too afraid to tell him. Eventually she will tell him, but I just feel like do the same thing that you would want him to do with you. And if you're gonna withhold it, all I say is this: since you want to be so strong and handle it all on your own, like you don't have a partner or whatever, don't come back trying to blame that man and make it seem like you was all alone. I was in it all by myself, all by myself. I had some lonely nights. I was there by myself. When really what it sounds like to me, that's what you want, because you a bit of a control freak, just a little piece. I do understand the aspect of not wanting him to have to deal with that because you feel like it's an issue that you created. I completely understand that though. I get that part. But I still feel like you should have at least told him about the bankruptcy. And it seemed like she was about to tell him, but then he said, "How can I relieve some of the stress from you?" in so many words. And then I think that could have deterred her. Maybe, possibly, but I just don't want to hear her trying to make him the problem at a later time. Either way, Porsha and K.Michelle have this sit down, right? And K.Michelle questions Porsha about why she said the miscarriage comment, because it's like, girl, who says that? Porsha like, what? Girl, I didn't know that you had an issue with your butt. I ain't know that. I'm like, well, you could have just let her keep talking and you would have learned that. Okay. So Kay says, but regardless, who says miscarriage true? Who says that shit? Not even gonna hold you. Who the hell would say that? Okay. So Portia says, well, I've had several, and when I woke up, it was a pool of blood. But K.Michelle told you it wasn't a pool of blood. She said it was clear fluid, you know? So, oof, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do I think Portia was trying to be malicious or insensitive? Not necessarily. I just don't think Portia was thinking like she typically doesn't. But I don't think she really, in my opinion, meant any harm by it. But still, it's like, who the hell says that? Like, what the hell? Why you went straight there? Why you had to do that? Right? But Portia did apologize to her, and she says those were not her intentions at all. And she's sorry that it was taken to be like ill or something like that, ill-willed. And I'm like, I appreciate that apology that Portia gave right off the bat to K.Michelle for making her feel uncomfortable, right? Whereas Tiffany, your ass on Bell Collective Birmingham, you could learn a few things, girl. This is how you apologize. Talk about something. I don't remember saying that. BITCH, I told you what was said. I'm not saying I didn't say it. I'm just saying that I don't remember saying. And I'm telling you again what the fuck was said. Damn, girl. Tiffany, you could learn some things, okay? Either way, K.Michelle, she says that she doesn't care what Portia went through that's related to her. You don't do no shit like that. Oh, damn. I don't know how I feel about that, Kay. I don't know how I feel about that. Cause I feel like women say things a lot of times to connect with the person because they can relate. Right. They will say things in relation to you to let you know that I understand because I went through the same thing. Example. Portia brought up miscarriage because in her head, she's like, oh, I had plenty of them and I had blood and pool of blood, whatever. But this is another thing Portia did that was in relation to K.Michelle to let her know I understand where you're coming from. Because she mentioned her breast and whatever issue she had with her breast, she used that as a moment to relate to you. And it wasn't an issue. So I don't know, Kay. I think that you are overly sensitive. I would like to see you in more therapy sessions as you are on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because one thing I noticed with you is that you hold on to what is K.Michelle sign? Y'all let me know. Is she a Pisces? I'm not sure. Either way, K.Michelle, you hold on to a lot of things from your past. And I feel like you may project them in other moments in your life a lot. I think you think everybody want to see you down and out. And I also think that you get motivation from that, from thinking those thoughts that people don't wish you well or want to see the best in you. So you use that in a way to, how do I want to prove them wrong? Right? When everybody's not thinking like that about you, a lot of us want to see the absolute best from you. And I know that may be hard to believe based on what you have experienced in life, but nah, it's real shit. Like, you got people out here that like really want to see you thrive and do well. You know what I'm saying? But you operate from that type of space, like the world is against you type of thing. And I don't know, it's somebody, and I may not be putting it into the best words. So y'all can translate it down in the comments for your girl. But yeah, that's something that I feel like I noticed that you do a lot. I want you to work on that. And that's a good thing about being on the reality show. Like, yeah, you're gonna get the scrutiny, you're gonna get the heck and stuff from the fans and everything. But although you may have grown a lot from where you once were years and years ago, there are still things that can be improved on, and you can now watch yourself and see that, you know what, yeah, okay, okay, I see what they saying now, how I am on the show and how I do my interviews and da 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 da. Because once you prove those people wrong, it's no need, in my opinion, unless you're not healed, to keep going back and revisiting every time, right? Those moments in your life, in a sense, and try to apply them to every single situation. There's something about it. But I ain't no counselor, I ain't no therapist, girl. So I'm sure I ain't word there right. That's why I want to see you in therapy as you're on the show. But either way, girl, okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going, because Porsha says, so I was the bimbo. Also, you was talking to me. I'm like, girl, except for you don't know, she called you a dingbat as well. But K.Michelle said, yes. Well, yes. Well, yes, I said it. Okay. And Porsha said, well, girl, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I was being very genuine. Okay. And, maybe what happened with me and, Kelli wasn't really a good representation or something. If you feel like you was in the shoes of Kelli, and K.Michelle said, no, girl, it was not a good representation, because I don't want to have shit to do with what y'all got going on. High key. Okay. I ain't trying to be involved in that. And I saw how Cynthia was trying to get me involved in that, asking me what I thought about this. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they like to do with her damn hot pocket. Okay, I do not know. So Portia's like, well, damn. No, she said, well, I appreciate you coming to me and not going to everybody else. Okay, Michelle said, well, I did. I did go to some other people. They just ain't tell you about it. Okay, she said, well, damn, I was expecting you to shake the table, but not shake the damn table on my ass. What's going on over here? Okay, what's that about? So, child, that's what's going on. Now, K.Michelle did address some of the things that were said over on let me see if I could get it, because I want to talk about what K.Michelle put up over there on her Twitter when it came to Porsha in this situation. So K.Michelle put a tweet up, and it says, have you ever almost died from surgery? Have you ever lost several babies? And everyone knew why I was in the hospital. I was out the hospital bed an hour and being asked if I had a miscarriage in an Atlanta nail salon. I forgive and come in peace, but I'm very much clocked in. And I'm sure you are very much clocked in. And honestly, in my personal, you should have clocked your ass out after you left that hospital and took your ass home. And I say that also because you were raw. Not only were you raw from surgery, I think you were raw from your feelings too. I do feel like if it was said at a later time, maybe you wouldn't have took as harsh offense or something to that. But I don't want to tell you how you should feel or whatever. But also, maybe Portia would have had more context as to what happened to not have said no shit like that either. Okay. But all in all, yeah, but I was here for you getting cute though, because girl, you look good. I'm not gonna hold you. I love the pink, I love the hair and all of that. And I understand you wanted to make yourself up after surgery and you leaving the hospital, right? Because like Phaedra said, she had makeup on giving birth. That is a thing now. That's what the women's do. It makes them, when you look good, you feel good. However, you didn't have to go link up with them. You probably could have went out to eat with your husband, right? So somebody said, K.Michelle dragging it on the miscarriage thing, like that was a valid question. I don't think that was a valid question at all. But I don't think that it was like a malicious question. I think that if she would have been more, if she would have just continued to listen like the other ladies were listening, she likely would have learned what she needed to learn. I don't think it was wrong to ask, like, oh, was it like blood or was it like fluid or something? Like, which one was it? Right. And when you learn that it was clear fluid, then I would think that it's not a miscarriage, right? Or you would have learned that it was more so about her ass and not her cootie twat, her hot pocket. You know what I'm saying? But I will say Porsha did look genuinely damn confused. And I think the reason now that she looked so confused was because in her head the entire time she was thinking miscarriage, that, oh, she must have been pregnant if she miscarried. Right? And now I see why K.Michelle felt the way, because you know I've been heavily talking about getting pregnant. And then the first thought that come to your mind, but then I feel like that may validate what Porsha was asking with the whole miscarriage, because you talk so much about getting pregnant. But I don't think she had to ask that, you know? But y'all let me know. I feel like I see both sides, you know? And I just don't think Porsha was being malicious when she said it. Ultimately, I wouldn't have asked no shit like that. Like Cynthia and Phaedra, I wouldn't have asked that. You know, and especially if I know that you confide in me about wanting to have children and they may not know, I'm definitely not finna meet you no fucking miscarriage. You know what I'm saying? But I would say, what you think it was? Like, and that would have gave her the opportunity to say, oh, you know, it was my ass. You know, I had the procedure in my ass. You know, maybe Porsha thought her ass was completely healed or something. I don't know. So this is what the person said about K.Michelle dragging it. And so K.Michelle said, would you want someone in the middle of a nail shop screaming out in front of Alan? Okay, now. This is where you extra, girl. Because when nobody screaming, honey. And then when y'all walked in, Porsha was like, oh, I like this area. Okay, good and private. It's private. Say, what now, girl? Love you, K, but this I can't give you this, boo. Okay, screaming is crazy. All right, screaming in front of Atlanta when you're an hour out the hospital, asking you in front of other women you just met if you had a miscarriage. Oh, I'm not with you on this, K. I'm not complete. I understand you feeling the way, but I feel like if you would have took your ass home, you would not have, your emotions would not have been raw along with your surgery. Okay? But y'all let me know y'all thoughts about it. Y'all feel like Porsha was wrong? It was a weird question to ask. Like, I ain't gonna say weird, but I just would not. It's like, what? Why would you say that? Who asked that? When somebody talk about she sitting down and then fluid came out, like, huh? But then K.Michelle, I have to clock you, because why, when she said that, you was like, I thought that, yeah, but no. Why are you laughing? Who laughs at that? Now, I do understand, you know, being in a place where, you know how you don't clock a situation in a moment until you leave and you sit back and you think about it, but like, oh, that hoe tried me. I think K.Michelle definitely had one of those moments where she felt like she was being tried. However, I don't think Porsha was being malicious. Okay, so next time, just be a little more mindful when it comes to your friends and you've been talking to them about such private moments. I wouldn't bring something like that up amongst people that she likely has not talked to about that. But either way, best of luck to everybody. Another good episode for the ladies of Real Housewives of Atlanta. You all can leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm Jamie, that's me. And of course, I'm going to catch y'all in the next one, boo. Bye.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking the drama.